My name is James Williams Jr. This is Comfort Havoc number 2. This is my last video for the night because I need to go to hell to bed. Alright, so it's a top buzz, you know, and kind of hurt my feelings. I had other things I want to talk about, but I forgot what they were, so it's not important. But this is very important. So, former child sex slave serves life sentence for killing a man who exploited her. This would be her. I'm pretty sure I'm going to botch this, so be ready for me to be spelling some names. Tennessee recognized for the vigilance in combating child sex trafficking, but if ever you read upon a case of Cyntoia, Cyntoia Brown, you be flabbergasted by such esteem of a state. WES reports a Nashville woman was the victim of sex trafficking, being pimped out by a man she lived with. In 2004, Brown killed Nashville realtor Johnny Allen, one of the many men who paid to have sex with her when she was 16 years old. As a child sex slave, she had been repeatedly raped, abused, and held at gunpoint prior to being exploited by Allen. She admitted she feared his military background prior to, with numerous guns she said observed in his home. She shot and killed the 43-year-old. He was a sharpshooter in the Army. That's a disgrace to the uniform, that motherfucker. He was a sharpshooter in the Army. Brown said of the man of sitting her and thinking, if he does something, what am I going to do? She was sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility at 51 years. Filmmaker Dan Birman, I don't know how you say it, Birman, follows Brown's case for 7 years in Me Fencing Life. Seeking redemption, the young lady, Cyntoias story, is a documentary of a young woman which premieres on PBS March 2011. God, I totally missed that. Was partly responsible for igniting the change in the way the state handles sex trafficking cases. Another 18 years old can now be charged with prostitution. Anyone under 18 years old can now be charged with prostitution. How the fuck does that work? We start the conversation. Birman, Birman, said, "This is a young girl who at the tail end of 3 generations of violence against women. Brown's mother and grandmother were both raped. She had no choice," he continued. While in prison, Brown attained her associate's degree from Lipscomb University and now working towards her bachelor's degree. She also works with and volunteers constantly juvenile justice system. Alright, so being that somebody just popped up, that was that little ping you heard. Anyway, so I don't understand how you can blame the victim. And many of us have probably done it, including myself, have said, well, maybe she shouldn't have been wearing this. But this is a whole different case of sex trafficking. No kid goes out of their house in the morning and says, hey, I'm going to grow up and be a victim of sex trafficking. That is not a thought that kids have in their processes. So for her to be sentenced for life till she's 41, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. So contemplate that shit. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Comfort Havoc number 2. It's Monday night for another 30 some odd minutes. Be seeing you. I'm going to finish this mission of Mass Effect and then I'm going to hell to bed. Later.